Remember when your parents told you that playing all those video games could make you unhealthy? Or when they told you that video games were addictive? What about the times where they didn't let you play Call of Duty or GTA because video games would make you violent, or told you to go outside and learn how to make new friends? Previously on this channel, we've discussed the positive impacts of video games, from increasing overall brain function and memory, to helping scientists predict protein structure and enzymes to fight off incredibly infectious diseases. Video games have come a long way since their inception in 1958, where players would hit a ball back and forth between two sides on a cathode ray tube display. Despite this, video games are still relatively new and unexplored, especially with respect to their impact on those who play them when compared with another media format such as film. The lack of research in these areas has led to widely held beliefs with little to no scientific theory behind them becoming the norm amongst those who've criticized video game players. A study led by a research group at Hanover Medical School found that after more than 16 years of exposure to violent video games such as Call of Duty and Battlefield, the group who played said video games responded to graphic imagery in the exact same way as those who had not. This showed that there was no link between violent video games and emotionally blunted brains. Similarly, a study carried out by a molecular psychiatry group in New York found no statistically significant correlation between violent video games and aggression in humans. This study concluded that violent video games do not, in fact, cause increased levels of aggression in human beings. Recently, some video game developers have turned their minds towards solving some of modern medicine's big issues. In a study out of the University of Roehampton, it was found that specific video games helped calm and distract people who suffer from schizophrenia. These video games required players to focus on landing a rocket on a planet, and targeted specific regions of the brain to keep players engaged and calm during the game's duration. It was found that transferring these skills from video game to real life helped patients in dealing with the voices and hallucinations within their head dramatically. Along a similar vein, the video game Sparks was developed in order to attempt to treat depression in young adults especially. Astonishingly, it was found that Sparks was actually more effective at treating depression than traditional counseling, and that it could be completed almost entirely in a self-directed manner. This means that, moving forward, more video games could be developed and incorporated into the treatment and/or maintenance of all mental health crises and/or ongoing mental health problems. June 2020 saw the release of the world's first FDA-approved video game, aimed at treating ADHD in children, hoping to improve attention function. This game has so far been very successful in treatment and offers a precedent for many medically prescribed video games to come. With the increase of prevalence of gaming within our society, video game addiction and the problematic behaviours associated with it have risen too. From losing thousands of dollars in virtual economies, to becoming socially withdrawn and experiencing severe psychological distress, playing too many video games can seriously impact a gamer's life. 1.2% of gamers can be measured as addicted to games, consisting mainly of younger male gamers who have been shown to be much more likely to engage in problematic and addictive gaming practices. Gaming disorder. A measure of problematic engagement with video games shows that young age, hours chatting on social media, and experiencing loneliness and psychological distress are all symptoms of problematic gaming behaviours. These should be caught before they go too long, as with all addictions. Video games, as with all things, should be enjoyed in moderation. When done so, they can have incredibly positive impacts on brain function, cognition, and can help scientific research greatly. Video games increasingly show potential to form the basis of some medical treatment moving forward, especially as we begin to learn more about mental health and the impact of video games on the brain. From depression and schizophrenia to ADHD and other neurological disorders, I hope that video games can assist the medical industry moving forward. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with content about video games in a scientific context. As always, have a good day, and bye for now.